99.5 The Bear, your number one station for the best new music and country legends. It's 347. Here is Blake Stamper.
Hickabilly is just a phrase, you know. It's what I call my music, hickabilly. It's basically country, but it's got rock and roll influence, bluegrass influence, blues influence, jazz influence, all kinds of influence. So rather than call it country or rock and roll or jazz or blues or any of the things that it came from, I call it hickabilly and just give it its own name. What else can I say about it? Hickabilly.
You mix the country rhythm, blues and soul, with a little bit of grass and a lot of rock and roll. It's a bit confusing, but it ain't no fad. The hickabilly beat is gonna drive you mad.
So I thought if I was going to call it hickabilly, I would need a song really to kind of explain what hickabilly is. And so Billy Davis and myself got together and wrote this song, Hickabilly Beat, and we never knew it was really going to end up doing what it's doing. You know, it's on the charts and everything, and we're just tickled to death with it. But you know, it says in the song, you mix country, rhythm, blues, and soul with a little bit of grass and a lot of rock and roll, and that's what hickabilly is, and that's what I am, hickabilly.
Lord, Mama's always cooking and Daddy's working hard.
Well, we went out and did this 5-week radio tour, and it was just, really neat thing, you know. I went out and met all the disc jockeys and people, and most of them were real receptive and liked the music, and a lot of them, of course, they were real busy, so, you know, they got a lot going on, and they get stacks of CDs every day. It's amazing how many CDs they get in to listen to. But we were well received in Texas, and we're on the charts, and it was definitely a worthwhile thing. And looking back on it, it was hard, it was long, it was grueling, but if I had it to do all over again, I'd do it again.
It's a person-to-person, people-to-people approach, one fan at a time, one radio station at a time, and so far it's working, and it helps to have somebody like Blake who just people really seem to take immediately to once they meet him.
The Way Back to Texas, that's the title cut of the CD. Actually, that's a domestically inspired kind of a song is what I say. My wife and I, she's from West Texas. We had a little lover's quarrel one day, and I got frustrated and went and wrote the song, you know, The Way Back to Texas, so get on down the road. Of course, everybody knows I didn't really mean it. It's been... Anyway, next.
Go take the car and the money, girl, I will do just fine. Sooner you get back to Texas, sooner you'll be off my mind. The sooner you get back to Texas, sooner you'll be off my mind.
Just by fate, I run into a guy that I went to high school with, and I'd had this little demo CD, 4 songs that I'd cut, and the Christmas Thing was one of them.
One day I was home by myself, and I stuck it in, and I was pretty amazed at his music. The one song on there, the Christmas song, it's really a heart-touching song, and you know, one thing led to another.
And he ended up playing it for this other guy that I guess was fairly, you know, a good businessman or whatever, you know, and this man really liked it so much that he wanted to become my business partner and help me pursue this dream of mine.
I went and played it for my mom and different people, and it really made them think back as to when they grew up. And it was typical of a lot of families, especially families my age. But that song was the one that really caught my attention, and then Blake, he came to a barn on some property I have, and he just played up there. Wasn't anything planned, and I was really impressed.
Playing music, recording and releasing songs and videos and just the whole thing. It's kind of a fairy tale, kind of a fantasy come true kind of thing, you know. I wrote this song one time. It's a Christmas song. Don't know where it came from. Just came from my heart somehow, I guess through stories I'd heard from my mother and father about how they grew up with nothing, never had a Christmas, and just various stories, and just I guess eventually all that sunk in, got in my heart and came out in words and melody, and it's called Christmas Things.
But we had love in the family, and we clothes to wear and a place to sleep. We found joy in each other and the hope tomorrow brings. So we never seem to miss our Christmas things.
My whole family's pretty much musical. I have two uncles that play the fiddle. My dad plays the fiddle. My aunt sings. Got another uncle who plays the guitar. Everybody in my family's real musical. They all sing and play something, dance or whatever. And my dad's a really great fiddle player. He played with a lot of the earlier bluegrass greats like the Stanley Brothers, the Osborne Brothers, Jim and Jess, Bill Monroe. And so naturally I drew a lot of my music from that. So that goes into what I write as well as my other influences. My granddaddy was a great old-time Kentucky fiddle player from the mountains of eastern Kentucky back in the 20s, 30s. Really talented man as well. I think probably one of the most important things to me would be to get my music down on tape or on CD. The Way Back to Texas is my first full album project. I'm very proud of it. We didn't try to overcomplicate it. We want everybody to enjoy it and everybody to understand it. It's like the best apple pie you ever eat in your life.
That is great. Blake Stamper.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, boy.